Hey Blake,
Evening, Jake.
how you doing?
So far so good, but the evening is young.
Yep.
Hey, Jim's with us, except he's got
Yep.
his microphone turned off.
Yeah, trying to send myself an email. So I just found I picked up a Stromberg Carlson, a 410J. I just found the service manual for it, so I'm trying to email it to myself so I can print it off.
Oh, cool. That's one of the few brands that I don't have um, manufacturing literature for. I don't have any. I have to go to Riders or Bateman's or others. I just finished up an Emerson, what was it? An Emerson AR 171. Actually, I guess I have two Emersons. I finish one and I get to wind an oscillator coil on the other one. That will be a
Huh.
ton of fun. Actually, I should show you the oscillator coil. That's what makes it.
Yeah.
And the oscillator coil is this little guy right here. See the one that I'm.
Oh yeah. Is it all
Moving the
is
wires
it
around.
burnt
Yeah,
too?
it's all burned up. So we'll not
How
so
heavy a
bad.
wire is that?
I haven't mic'd it yet, but my guess would be around 34, 36,
It's
something like
pretty
that.
small. Yeah.
I've, I've got I've got 1 and 2 pound spools all the way up to, I think 42 or 44.
Hmm.
So I'll have it. It's just a matter of
Yeah,
I'll
just
get the
figuring out what it
micrometer
is.
out and figure out what it is, and then very slowly unwrap it one coil at a time. And there's several breaks in it, so I can't measure the ohmic value, and it's not listed on the schematic. So we'll play with it, and we'll probably overwind it.
Uh-huh.
Put it
Just
all
kind
back
of
together, and then pull winds off of it until it oscillates where I want it to. A good rainy day week
yeah.
requirement. Not your 45 minute or 2 hour rebuild.
How many of those
No.
have you done?
Rewinding of oscillator coils,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
more than I could count. I have a little Miller winder, and then I have one that I made myself that I much prefer because I can control it better.
Yeah.
But I'll make a couple of paper dams. They'll look like donuts with a split in them,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll tack them in place and then wind the coil because I know the basic width of it. It probably won't be pretty, but it'll work.
Yeah.
And then when I'm done, depending on how I feel that day, I may take the paper dams off, or I may just leave them on there.
So how were those done originally? Did they use a machine when they first made those back in the day?
Oh yeah, yeah, they were done with a machine, and the machine would make the coils go back and forth and make them nice and pretty. And
Mm.
uh, anyway, these days it's more about getting it working than it is making it look pretty. I'll let the rest of the radio look pretty. I'm one, I'm one of those nuts who likes to um, buy the sleeving in 500-foot rolls and then put it on little rolls like this and sleeve everything.
Nice.
It's my only artistic skill. I can't draw a stick figure. Well, what are you guys up to?
Not a whole lot at home right now. Mostly just busy at work.
I like your
Trying to get,
fan against the wall back there. That's kind of
Oh yeah, yeah,
looking.
that one.
yeah.
That one's been hanging out in the background of the Zoom meetings for a little while now.
That's one of those fans that you have to be old and have common sense to have in your house.
Yeah, yeah, you don't want to stick your fingers in that one.
Uh-uh.
So yeah, that's one I'm gonna, before it starts warming up in the like later spring, I'm gonna go through it, and one of the major things it needs is a power cord. Doesn't even have one right now, so
Wow.
I saw a couple of
but
those come up at auction that were very similar to that. And I
yeah.
thought, dang, Jake's got one of those. Maybe I should get one. But then the price went a little higher than I wanted to spend.
Yeah, especially if you go with the brass blade ones. A lot of the
Yeah.
GEs, those are gonna get pricey.
Yeah, my dad had one, an oscillating Westinghouse when I was a kid, and
Yeah.
it was one of those dangerous ones, and it always worked.
Did you ever get your radio out of the cabinet, Jake?
No, I never got back to that. Maybe this weekend I'll get back, guys, the following week.
Well, I took a Edison cylinder record player apart the other day, and the motor, that has those springs in it that you wind up.
Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
one of the one of the springs was busted, and somebody else had been into the thing and made a kind of massacred it.
Hmm.
So I got one spring thing working okay, but the second one has the broken spring in it,
Hmm.
and I don't really want to buy a new spring because I'm not sure exactly how to get it in there. So I'm going to take it down to this guy in Castle Rock.
Yeah, I was going to recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I called him the other day, and I guess his hours are like 11 to 4 on Saturday. But he says if you want to see him earlier, you can give him a call and he can meet you there. So I'm going to probably see him Friday or Saturday or something like that. Take it down there and let him help me with the motor spring. He says, I can fix it. He didn't say anything about how much it was going to cost, but I'll take some money down there and hopefully I'll have enough.
Yeah.
So,
Probably no more than 250 in your firstborn.
Yeah, yeah,
right,
for sure.
there you go.
He's a nice guy. I've
It is-
I've dealt with him. I've got a friend that has one that needs a reproducer rebuilt. No, I'll be looking him up for that.
yeah, mine needs that too. I got into the thing the other day, and a little string that goes between the diaphragm and the needle was just busted off. I mean, well, it let go. So
Yeah.
deal with that too. I've got it's a Edison Amberola 75. It's a floor model with the drawer down underneath of it where you can put all the cylinders. And the guy that told me about the guy in Castle Rock was that Kravitz guy up in Port Orchard. I
Hmm.
guess he used to do it, but he's not doing it anymore or not dealing with it. He's kind of crippled up, I guess. He says he's in a wheelchair and he's going to be selling out most of his stuff that he had.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
That was Harvey Kravitz. I don't. I think he's in PSARA club. That's how I got his name. He's in the
Huh.
roster. Anyway, he said to give the guy a call, so I looked him up on the internet. He's on the internet. He's got looks like a little store or shop or something down there in Castle Rock. So I'm looking forward to go down there and see what he has to say about it. Maybe he can give me a few tips on it, what to adjust. 'Cause I think probably he's going to need some adjusting. It's got screws for setting the needle height and the speed of the governor on stuff like that. So hopefully he can help me out with that. Seemed kind of anxious to help me, but he's going to be gone tomorrow. So he said he'd
Yeah.
be there Thursday. I mean Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So
I'm sitting here looking at one of his cards, which are made out of 20 weight paper. They're pretty flimsy, but these cards have probably been here for 10 years, and it says on the end of it here, open Saturday 11 to 4 or by appointment. So he hasn't changed his hours in a long time.
no,
Yeah, at least he's consistent, right?
Yep.
seemed like a nice guy.
So do
Young.
you play? So is this one, is it a 2 minute standard or is it a 4 minute?
This is a 4 minute. It's got two motors,
Oh, okay.
Hmm,
two springs.
That's cool. So
cool.
mine's a 2 minute player.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have
Guy,
any really good politically incorrect cylinders to play?
I got a whole pile of cylinders. There was about three or four of them. The neighbor guy gave me the record player. He says, when you get it working, he says, I want to hear it. He's never heard it. I think he must have picked it up at a thrift store or something like that, or antique store.
Oh, cool.
Hmm.
Anyway, he says,
Well,
you need this over in your house. He knew I was doing stuff or antiques or vintage radio and phonographs and things, so
nice.
do more or do better over in my place than it would his, because he would never get around to fixing. He's kind of a carpenter, jack of all trades, but he's not very good on electronics and, well, not electronics, but that kind of stuff, I guess. He tried getting into it and fixing the spring, but it looks like he
Couldn't
drilled.
get the solder to hold?
No, looks like he drilled another hole in the spring to try to catch it on the little tab, that catches the
Yep.
spring inside. But as soon as you do something with it, it'll jump right off of the tab. It's got well, you know how it is. It's got a big hole, then a slot, and then you
Yeah,
kind of
slot that it slides in, yeah.
slides into. And then you're supposed to crimp it real tight around the shaft so it don't come loose again. So
I have 3 cylinders I have to keep out of plain sight because they're quite offensive in their titles. One of them is not too bad. It's a coon wedding in southern Georgia. The other two I will not read the names of publicly.
Yeah.
But I've listened to all 3 of them and they're actually kind of funny. Well, one of them is probably way outside. It's way past racy, but the other two are cute in their own way, but probably offensive to some. But yeah, that's what they made back in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
yeah, I know a guy called Cal Taylor from Chehalis, and I told him I had a thing here. He says, "Well, I got some cylinders for you." He brought me over a whole box of cylinders, probably a dozen or 15 of them, but I haven't had a chance to go through them yet and see what's all on them.
Oh, cool. Well,
That's
that'll be
awesome.
fun.
Yeah. So I probably got, what, 16 or 18 cylinders at least to play. Anyway, it fills up a tray or so underneath that player. So
Nice.
I'll have something to play once I get it going.
I have no idea how many I have, but they all fit in the shoebox. Not very many.
Not very many, yeah.
Yeah.
But enough, right?
I'd like to have some Christmas music. I've got
That'd
a
be cool.
Thorns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a Thorns platter. Yes, plays the little 5-inch discs, little music box, and I've got probably 10 or 12 Christmas songs for that. But and I have quite a few 78s, but no cylinders with Christmas music on them. I've always been scared away by the price.
Yeah. People probably want an arm and a leg for those.
Yep.
Well, I guess we can get on to the topic tonight. So I thought of that we can discuss troublesome tubes, either a specific tube types that tend to be troublesome, or any stories of radio repairs that you guys have had that are related to what ended up being a bad or more quirky tube in its function. Since I have not done all that many radios, I have not come across that yet, but I'm sure you guys have come across plenty.
It's funny when I saw your topic, one
Yeah.
immediately came to mind, and it's not a rare tube. It's it's a tube that was used quite a bit in the late 30s and 40s,
Yeah.
and I absolutely hate them. It's a 6X5. It's a rectifier, and many transformers burned up because those tubes, especially in the ST package, the one with the shoulders on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a tendency to short and take out the power supply.
Is there a common substitution that for a more reliable tube for those, or
Oh yeah, you can buy a 6X5 in a GT style, and they're not
that
nearly as
that one seems to be
troublesome.
fine?
Yeah, or a pair of silicon diodes. They work
Yeah,
real.
of course. You can always do that.
But there is no direct one because it's a cathode operated 6-volt tube, so
Hmm.
it's not a 5-volt tube. Oh, Larry's got that's
Oh,
cool.
wow.
And sometimes if the outer tubes on those get wet, they can be troublesome.
Yes.
You guys may not have known it, but a 6X5, you can put an OZ4 in the same place and it'll work.
Really?
Yeah, you don't need a filament.
I did not know that.
Huh.
Same pinout, but no filament needed.
And the filaments are in parallel, so it doesn't affect anything not being in the radio.
Right.
Cool.
Used
All
to
right.
do that a long time ago.
Yeah, of course, that was, introduced to save money, so they didn't have to have a 5-volt winding, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course,
Yeah.
they had, the insulation voltage is really high on that because the cathode's at, plus whatever voltage,
Yeah.
the high voltage.
OZ4s are cool. I just happen to have one of those. I'm working on a car radio that has one.
Oh, cool.
This one is not any good.
There's some debate as to actually whether those, really save power or not. So
As long as they don't short transformers.
Well, they don't use
That's a good
they
thing.
don't use filament power, but then it comes out of the B plus.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think an OZ4, a gaseous tube, can short out very easy. Since it's a gas.
Yeah, that's good to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I learned that a long time ago when I was in my teens.
The other tube that'll get you in a lot of trouble is a 35Z5, another rectifier. People will check them on their tube tester, and the tube will check good, but the tap will be out.
Yeah.
And when the tap's out, the light bulb turns into a flash bulb.
Yeah.
And then when you finally get tired of it and leave it out, you don't realize that, when you don't have the tap and the light bulb in it, you're putting more voltage through the tube than necessary, and you shorten the life of it substantially.
Do you have the same trouble with a 35W4, Blake?
I think you would. I think you would, but my experience has been that the 35W4 seems to hold up better.
Does it have a tap?
I'm not sure. I think it does.
I'll find out. I have the book right here in my hand.
Yeah, I don't think it has a tap.
That would explain why you didn't have problems with it.
Take a look and see.
So I don't know if you remember last week, Pat Kaji was showing his clock radio that announced the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he had a problem with it that you had to turn on the radio in order to get it to announce the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I had sort of figured out that it was this micro switch that is run off of a cam. So when the motor runs, it's supposed to turn on the amplifier, and it wasn't doing that. Well, there was a whole bunch of parts at the free table on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them was a little bracket that had 2 micro switches on it. And so I gave it to Pat, and he put it in his alarm clock, and it fixed it. So
Jim's
Oh,
got an
cool.
answer for us, I think,
That's awesome.
and I'm looking at it too, but I'm going to let him answer. Jim, you looking up that 35W4?
Well, I'm not sure my book has it.
but it was just great that
I'm
we were
looking at
able to.
Sylvania. This is the
Oh, yeah, and that may be too old, but the 35W4 does have a tap.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Three to four is the filament, and the tap comes out on 6.
Hmm.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yep.
But it was quite a surprise that we were able to fix Pat's radio because there's so many different micro switches that we just happened to have one on the free table there.
Yeah, that's
That
cool.
that was the right one with the mounting and everything.
So we got a little contingent here. Does anybody on the line here have a CRT checker? Cathode
Have
ray
a
tube
what?
tester. Picture tube
I
tester.
I don't.
I
I
have a
got
need.
I've
What's
got an
that?
old B&K.
Which B&K do you have?
It's the one that checks black and whites and also rejuvenator.
That must be better than mine. I have a 465, but I'm trying to check a tube in what it's an oscilloscope tube. It's not in an oscilloscope. It's in a snap-on automotive analyzer. But it's basically a 5-inch serviceman scope. It's got a 5 UP1. And my 465 does not have a listing for it, nor do I have an adapter that fits that particular tube. But the 5UP or the 5U series was, really popular. 5UP1, 5 BP1. They had a bunch of them.
Hmm.
And I'm just looking for somebody that has a checker that will check that particular tube. If I can check one, then I can go ahead and restore the unit for the fella. And he wants me to do 4 of them for him. But
Oh
if
wow.
if I can get one working, then
Yeah, they could probably
I
tackle
can
the
test the other tubes.
other. Yeah. What is he using them for?
I don't think he uses them at all. He has a 63 Cadillac. I believe that's the model he has.
Uh-huh.
Um, or no, I'm sorry, that's the radio I've got over there. I think it's a 58. It's a late 50s Cadillac. And so he's a car collector, and I think these units are worth a pretty good chunk of change to collectors.
Oh, uh-huh.
And he's offered me what I think is way too much in the way of a stipend to repair them. I will likely just charge him time and materials and tell him that he can keep the rest of it. But I think he wants me to do 5 of them. He'll probably keep one and probably
Yeah.
sell the others. But anyway. Um,
Hmm. That's interesting.
looking for a tube tester that tests a 5 UP1.
5 UP1. Hmm.
It's just a 5-inch black and white CRT, green phosphor picture tube or O-scope tube.
Did you guys know of any other troublesome tubes?
Mm. WD11s are problematic if you put any too much voltage on them.
Yeah.
Really, they were a lot of them were pretty solid. I'm sure somebody's worked on more radios than I could come up with more examples, but those those 2 rectifiers are problematic.
Yeah.
Six EA8s always seem to have a problem. 37s are a very temperamental tube. In some of the early Philcos, the 4-tube variants,
Hmm.
you have to go through all your 37s until you find one that works. But
They just tend to die out fast.
No, I think there's that much variance. There's just so much
Oh,
variance
really? Okay.
built because I'll pull 4 or 5 Newell stock 37s down and put them in the radio, and 2 of them will work, and four won't, 5 won't.
Hmm.
I know Mike McCrow has had that same problem because he's called me a few times and said, well, I've got 5 of them and none of them will work in here. Do you have any? Well, I've got 2 with little P's on the boxes that I know work in a Philco. You want one?
Hmm.
And they work fine in other radios, but
They're just, yeah, Philcos
those
just
in
don't
those
seem
little
to like
Philco
them.
those little Philco Juniors, the one that had the regenerative superheterodyne,
Oh, uh-huh. Hmm.
weird little radios, but yeah, it's probably the radio design more than it is the tube on that one.
Huh. Well, that's good to know in case I come across one of those Philcos.
Another one that's interesting is the 1L6, the pentagrid converter out of the Transoceanic that are now $50 a piece. Um, that particular tube is a 1.4 volt tube.
Mm-hmm.
Most testers that you have, they test at 1 volt.
Yeah.
And you can have a tube that's right on the bottom. I mean, it's right there. You're going, wow, it's sitting right on the line between good and fair, between
Yeah.
good and poor. And if you put it in a tube tester that actually has 1.4 volts, it'll test perfectly good because you're increasing the voltage by 40% and the emissions
Yeah.
up 40%, and that can make a big difference.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
60 can be 80 or 85, and you toss the tube out.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
The tube checker I got, Blake, is model 400 B&K.
Okay.
Yeah, but you have to make up the socket. I don't have any sockets that will work on anything.
Okay. Well, good to know. I will keep that in mind. I I'm probably just going to go ahead and take the risk and restore the thing. I can't imagine these units got a lot of use in the day, and O scopes tend to hold up a lot better than picture tubes. So I may just go ahead and restore it and take my chances and run its tubes to it and through it and see if we've got a good tube in the bunch.
Yeah.
See, other tubes is probably like the 12AU7s and 12AX7s to get harmonic. You tap on them and they
Mm-hmm.
ring. D-Lab makes a device that you can plug them into now, and it'll tell you whether they're harmonic or shorted or noisy.
Hmm.
But I don't use them that often, so I wouldn't know or wouldn't need one. I don't know
Does
how much
anybody here have a tube tapper?
tube
No,
tapper.
I've seen you bring one out before though.
Yeah,
It's an official tool.
official an official tube tapper. And this one is tongue saw electronic tubes. And see what it says here. Northwest Radio Supply Inc. But yeah,
Really?
it's that's what you do. Bonk bonk. It's just got 2 erasers on it,
Huh.
and I have not sharpened it yet.
I didn't know they made an official tool.
I didn't either until I got this one, and it was like, well, why has it got 2 erasers on it? And somebody said, oh, it's a tube tapper. And I've heard of tube tappers, but I've never seen one. Anyway, oh wow, I'm microphonic. I can hear that. Well, what's everybody working on? And what parts do you need that I can hopefully give you?
Trying to unload some parts.
Oh yeah.
I'm working on a Helicrafter S120.
Oh, cool. Those are
Yeah,
nice radio.
yeah, it worked okay. It's a 4 tuber. And when I got it, let's see, I got it from that shoreline swap meet up there. and I got that up there. And when I got home, or this is the first time I've looked at it since I've got it, and let's see, somebody put a bridge diode in it in place of the selenium, added
Yeah.
a few resistors, and then wrote on the front of it needs a filter capacitor, which they didn't do.
Hmm.
So the first thing I did was get rid of that big honking bridge rectifier, a square one with four legs sticking up out of it.
Oh, bridge.
Yeah. So they rewired the negative part. I don't know how many voltage it had coming out of the thing. And anyway, I just put a regular silicon diode in it with a dropping resistor.
Yeah.
And then I got it's a big tubular capacitor on a clamp up on top of the chassis. And it's got four sections in it.
Hmm.
It's got a 60, 40, 40, and a 20 for the bypass capacitor
On
on
the
the up
cathode of the audio.
cap. Yeah, right. So anyway, has anybody ever tried to restuff one of those?
Yep. Do it all the time.
Yeah, I think I've done it twice now. I tried heating it up with a heat gun. That don't work. So the only way I got that stuff out of there is I took a drill. I drilled a whole pile of holes into the darn thing and dug out the inside of the capacitor and all the goo stuff that they melt, on the outside where the wires come out. Put a bunch of whatever you call it, hard stuff, epoxy. No, I guess it's not epoxy, but it's some kind of hard stuff. You can melt that out with a soldering iron, but it makes an awful smell.
Yep.
Anyway, I finally got it all dug out, put a 60, couple 40s at 150 or 160 actually back in there, and the 20 for the thing. Got it all sealed back up, put it back together, lengthened the wires that they had on the thing, the original one, and hooked it all up. And I'll be doggone if it don't work.
Cool.
Hmm.
I
Awesome.
just did one in this. This is a power supply for the 57 Chevron radio, but if you look kind of in the middle of it, you can see the can. Actually, if I were to pull this one tube, or maybe even both of these tubes, you can see where I've taken it apart, restuffed it,
Oh yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah,
and then
those
I use ducting foil to put them back together. And buy a big roll of that for about $8 at Home Depot. But yeah, the some of them are really easy to get the guts out of, and some of them are problematic. But I had Ed Tompkins was over one day, and we were trying to open one up, and my pipe cutter, which I use to cut them open, um, wasn't big enough. And so Ed was like, "Well, where would we go to get a bigger pipe cutter? Do they carry them at Home Depot?" And we kind of went through the whole thing. And I said, "Well, Amazon carries everything." And so
oh,
you can see in reference to my head, this is a big pipe cutter.
Yeah, I've got something similar to that.
Yeah. Anyway, it was on sale 2 for 1. So Ed had one. Ed has one just like that.
oh,
But
okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say what I found is that you have to be kind of careful when you do the pipe cutter thing because it'll push in the can, and that makes it even harder to get the guts out of. But yeah,
Yeah, here's
yeah,
the one that I have.
that one looks like it's a much higher quality one than I have.
Yeah, this one I got at I think Lowe's or Home Depot.
Yep. But these were on sale for like $8 a piece, and or we have a 15.95, and you buy one get one free or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
We laughed, and I said, "Okay, you want one?" And yeah, it'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, what I do, Blake, is I got a Dremel with a cutting disc on it, a
Uh-huh.
real cutting disc, and then I've got the oh, what do you call it? Kind of like a drill press thing that the Dremel fits into.
Oh,
So it
okay.
holds it up and down, and the little cutting wheel is in one spot. So you turn that on, and then you put the capacitor on the bottom so it's square, and
You just turn it.
you adjust the Dremel thing up at the right height. I usually leave about 3/8 to a half an inch of metal on the bottom of the can so that I've got something to put the tape around. And you cut that around evenly, and you can pull the top right off. If it don't come off, then you heat it up a little bit, and it'll come off real
Ah,
easy.
I hadn't thought about that. I don't have the dam that you're talking about, but I've got lots of Dremel tools and lots of those real good cutting cutting ones that don't break.
Yeah, as long as you have it in one place and you don't move the can up and down to bust
Yeah,
the disc,
you get a
you're
really nice
fine.
cut.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
a nice cut.
I'll have to remember that.
Nice.
But on my Helicrafter 120, Blake, you can't do that because it's a paper cap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a problem. So
So you
did you?
can't heat it up, and you can't. It doesn't do any good to cut it because it's stuck in there good. Because they put that solid stuff all the way up inside the thing.
Oh
Well,
man.
you can't get the plastic or you can't get the paper hot enough to melt the stuff inside, so you can't. Got no prayer of getting that out of there. So I drill the darn thing up, and then I put my long nose pliers down in the holes that I drilled and twist it around until I dig it out a little bit at a time. It takes probably an hour or so to empty one of those darn caps.
Wow.
But then you save the hard stuff, and after you get the capacitors in there, you put it close enough to the top so that you can melt that stuff back in there to hold everything solid. But first I take and use hot glue to seal everything up so it don't short out after you get it in there. So I hot glue it, kind of hold it in place, and then I melt that stuff again all over the place
Oh,
with a
that's
hot
good.
soldering iron. Makes it smell real bad, but you can get it
Now
all sealed back up in there.
you talk about doing the hot glue thing. Um, I have lots and lots of these printed cards that I have. You can't really see them very well. Let's see if I can get it up where. But you can see I've printed it with all the values on it by color code. And then I roll them up, and I put the caps in them, and I put hot glue in both ends, and this will snap into the clamp
Oh, nice.
of an AC/DC. This is a 2x47, but I've got other values as well. And it takes a little time, but I'll come out in the garage and I'll be just kind of wasted from a hard day's work, and I don't have the brain power to get into something. I'll line up 12 of those tubes, tape them in place, and squirt them all with hot glue, and then start building the innards. And that's all I do for the evening is churn out a bunch of those 2x47 caps.
Well, that seems like a real nice way to do it.
It's clean, and it's kind of nice, especially the ones that have the clamp in them. You can unclamp the old one and
Yeah.
snap these in. And the hot glue is just hard enough that it holds everything together.
You don't get goo and crap all over your fingers. Anyway, I got it back in the original clamp on top of the chassis, so
Nice.
it come out okay.
Well, I salute you because it's such a clean way to do it. You don't end up with a mess underneath the chassis that
Yeah,
someday somebody's going to look at it and go, "Man, who did this?"
Yeah.
I've
I'd
I've
rather,
seen that. I've seen that many times.
well, back in the day, it wasn't about making them pretty. It was about fixing them and get as many fixed for as you could in the day so you could make a profit and eat dinner. But
Right.
we're not, I don't think we're repairers. I think we're restorers.
Yep. I don't.
Hopefully we have other employment to put meals on the table.
Yeah.
Yep.
Myron, what are you working on these days?
Oh, I've been working on a Philco 118 for about 6 months.
That's a good size Is it? It's 118's a console, isn't it?
No, it's a cathedral,
Oh, okay.
but started out the voice coil had been eaten by the mice, and so I'm sorry, the fuel coil.
Oh, uh-huh.
So I got a speaker that has a good fuel coil, but it doesn't have a push-pull output transformer. So now I got to swap the transformer.
How big's the speaker on it?
It's a small one. I
That
think
eight inch, the one they used in everything else?
yeah, the small one. Yeah.
I think I've got a couple of those hanging on the wall.
Well, I've got the solution now. I just have to swap the transformers, the output
Okay.
transformers, and but it's a big job. I mean, it's got 11 backlights and half a dozen other capacitors, and the resistors are all drifting, and it's just your standard job, but it's a big job.
Yeah, those Bakelite jobbers are real fun.
Yeah, I've been using the drill a hole and put a screw in there method. That works pretty good.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
clean.
Here's an interesting text. I haven't seen this one before. I'll read it to you. Blake, you failed to complete question 3. We need you to fix this as soon as possible for your answers to count. The courts are waiting. Complete it here.
Yeah.
Go
You're
ahead,
like, oh
click on
yeah.
it. Click on it. You can click on it.
And a message at the bottom that says stop to end. Okay.
I haven't got any of those yet.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had text like that.
They haven't gotten me on one yet. But
But
what
then,
really is frustrating is BPA thinks it's fun to send those to you once in a while. And if you fail one, you get a lecture. If you fail two, you get to go take a 1 hour class on how to report phishing emails.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, they're way too predictable. I got one today,
Yeah.
and the reason I did is because of the date. And they always send them out on the same date, just after lunchtime.
And you're like, the pattern's too consistent here,
Pattern's
guys.
pretty consistent, and when I hover over the link, it's got the word spoof in it somewhere. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, at my work, they usually just filter out most of the incoming emails, even legitimate ones. So it's kind of a pain to then have to talk to IT to be able to actually get emails to go through.
I work for the government. We do all that stuff too.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to check my spam folder once in a while. I find somebody that some club member of NWVRS in my spam folder, so I got
Oh,
to tell
dump that. That's bad.
tell it to move it to inbox, so it don't happen again.
Yeah, my email was doing that for a while for a lot of the NWVRS emails that were from, different members that don't post all that often.
Exactly.
Now, if
Once
you
you
look
get
at
in the inbox, it don't happen again usually.
if you look at my email, the old one, the one that I started subscribing to in 1992, um, the domain on it is ix.netcom.com.
Yeah.
That hasn't been a thing for, I think, the company that had that, Netcom, I believe they finished up and went out of business maybe even before 2000.
Oh
And
wow.
so it was sold and it was sold and it was sold and it was sold. The money that I pay for it, which is a pittance, actually the money goes to Earthlink now, and it's like the sixth company that's owned the domain. And I was calling in one time because I had a question, and the kid that talked to me was really excited. He goes, "Man, you're one of like 42. We used to have 20,000 emails on this domain, and there's like 50 of you now." And I said, "Well, I'm calling, I'm calling to let you know we're going to be getting rid of one of those 50." It's just my dad has passed away, and he no longer needs email. He gets his for free now.
Yeah.
So, but but because it's such a weird domain, we don't get a lot of junk mail in it.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's just not worth the effort. Like you said, think he just said there's 42 of us left on the domain, but they keep supporting it. So what the heck?
Mm.
Nope. That's a Dremel tool. I recognize that sound. So, Myron, what are you going to hit next once you get through the speaker? Is it going to be all done, or are you just getting started?
Oh, I'm just about through the chassis, and I'm going to have to take the speaker to JMac to get a new cone on it, but that should take care of it. It's a pretty nice set. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a derivative of the 18. It was interesting. It had about 5 schematic errors in it.
Huh, that's
It was
fun.
always exciting.
Yep. It's
But then
fun to find them.
yeah, one of them was like a high frequency decoupling cap that was supposed to be on the screen. It has push-pull output. It's supposed to be on the screen of the driver, and it was just sitting there with no connection to the plate. It was just a capacitor hanging off the screen. I was like, that's probably wrong
You're
because they're
like,
running them
that
like
does not look
triodes
right.
where you connect the screen and the plate together.
How many tubes are in a 118?
I think it's 8 because it has a driver and a push-pull output
Okay.
and an RF, so it's either 8 or 9. It has the shadow meter.
Yeah, it says
Uh,
8 tubes on Radio Museum.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I've got a 16 that I restored probably 5 or 6 years ago, just sitting in a bag on the shelf, and I couldn't remember where the 118 was. The 16's got 11 tubes and 5 bands and a shadow meter, and it was quite a thrill. It had a lot of the Bakelite blocks like the one you're
yeah, it's
describing.
got 11. I've done 9 of them so far.
Almost there.
I
I'm
just
keeping count.
just finished the restoration on one of the biggest radios I've ever worked on, and the only thing harder than working on it was getting it shipped back to its owner. Um, if you want to look something up on the web, look up 38-690XX and make sure you include the 2X's.
Oh yeah.
It's 20 tubes, 2 chassis, and it's in a cabinet that has lots and lots of speakers and clarifiers and a timbre door that closes over the controls. And the fellow bought it for a very egregious amount of money. I saw the eBay listing. He bought it, had it shipped from Philadelphia to me, and I did the restoration on it, and then it had to be um, shipped up to him, and he lives in Anchorage, Alaska. And I finally got to the point where I told the fellow, I said, look, I know you want this to come up, FedEx or UPS, and I said, but UPS they won't do it. It's too heavy, and FedEx wants $3,000. I said, can I just call Craters and Freighters and you'll get it intact? And he
Hmm.
finally trusted me with it and said, well, okay, we'll give it a try. And he got it, and they had crated it in a wood frame and strapped it to a pallet.
Hmm.
That cost him $2,000, but when he got it, he was just amazed. He said, "Man, this is how I'm going to do all the rest of my radios." He said, "It was worth the money." It's like, wow.
Wow.
I won't tell you what I charged him, but it cost him more to have it shipped here and more to have it shipped home than I charged him to restore the whole radio and add
Yeah,
Bluetooth
yeah.
to it and all the other goodies and put new grill cloth in it. But it's a beautiful radio. Uh,
You don't have a picture of it after you got done, do you?
oh yeah. Yeah, and I might actually have it on this computer. Let me look real quick. I'll share it with you if I can find it. Do, 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 do. Let's see.
Of course, the other thing I was working on was Pat's alarm clock radio,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was pretty happy to find the part for that because I was thinking, oh well, we'll just put a reed relay in there or something to fix it because you can't find. I mean, if you go on old what's the not DigiKey but the other part, Newark, they only have like
Work or
500.
Mauser.
Yeah, they have like 500 different kinds of micro switches. So we
Yeah,
were
trying to narrow that down.
never gonna find one that was the right mounting and everything. But the one on the table was right because it was back in the day when they didn't have, 1,000 different micro switches. It was the standard ones. So that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm glad that worked out. That's awesome.
That's not the first time that, something has happened in the club. I can't remember the name of that radio that we got from Alan Shattuck down south, and then I brought it up to the auction on Trash Bash Day,
Mm-hmm.
and it had the wrong voltmeter on it, and the correct voltmeter was in the trash bash with the
Wow.
name of the radio on it.
Oh,
So,
excellent.
you
That's
know,
lucky.
that's not the first time something like that has happened. It's pretty amazing.
It's like 1 in 1,000 chances.
Well, and then I brought that Philco 690 in, and Blake brought the chassis in for it, and so whoever bought it got two chassis.
That's right. I remember that.
So the, that just keeps happening, these weird coincidences. Yeah. Who would have thought the same day, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. That one's empty. I don't have a picture of it on this computer out here. I have a bunch of them upstairs. Let me see if it's on this thumb drive. SPC, USB drive D. E. Well, there's nothing on either one of those. So I guess I'll have to wait until next time, but um it's a gorgeous radio, but man, it is a big radio. It's wide, it's deep, it's tall, and it's heavy.
What was the radio again?
It was a Philco 38-690XX.
Jake will find it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
You got to have a picture of the back of the radio as well as the front because both are impressive.
Yeah, yeah. Just saw a couple of pictures here.
Yeah, share them with us.
Let's see.
No.
One of these?
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
Look at the speakers. You've got them.
This one, yeah, let's see.
Yeah,
See if I can make that bigger.
both those transformers have rectifiers coming out of them on the bottom chassis. The
Yeah.
bottom chassis is all this power supply and audio, and then you've got the rest of the radio up top. And you can see at the very top where the timbre rolls up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it has a 15-inch main speaker, two 8-inch tweeters, and then it's got four clarifiers, which are basically just passive radiators.
Cool.
But what a radio!
Yeah, that's a beast of a radio.
Yeah.
Damn.
And what he had
Yeah,
me
that's
do,
cool.
interestingly, he didn't like the grill cloth that was in it, and the grill cloth was in really nice condition. I actually kept it. I rolled it up and
Yeah.
kept it, but he wanted the zenith pattern in the center.
Oh, really?
And so I went ahead and put the zenith pattern in the center, and then he wanted the outer skirts done in burgundy velour.
Hmm.
So I went ahead and sent an email to the speaker grill cloth guy and said, I need a piece bigger than you sell. Can
Yeah.
sell me a big one? He was happy to do so. And then he went down to
Nice.
the auto store and found a real somewhere between crimson and burgundy paper or cloth to put in it. And got it all done. He's thrilled. I would have left the grill cloth that was in it because I like the original thing.
Yeah.
But I'm sure glad to have half of my workbench back.
I bet that probably took most of it up.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, my workbench is 16 feet long.
Yeah.
So getting half of it back is a big deal. Well, I guess I blocked video. Sorry about that. There we go. Well, Jim, what are you working on? You look like you're out at the bench.
Yeah, over Christmas time, I moved from one end of the house to the other. My wife and I shared our den, and over Christmas, I said, the kids are gone. Why don't we just take one of the rooms and I'll move down there? And so I've been busy trying to set up my new ham sack slash radio station down here, trying to get things worked on. And so I've got to get back to those radios I picked up the tubes from you for,
Oh,
and
good.
get back into those. I'm pretty well set up now. I've got everything where I want it. I've been a little busier just building my radio collection, I guess. I just I can't walk away from free or less than $10 radios. I'm addicted. But
Well, next
I
time you
picked
come over, I'll get all my $10 and less and free radios out for you. Bring a
Better
truck.
watch out. You might need a U-Haul. No.
I picked up that Wurlitzer, and I've just been digging and digging, trying to find information on the Wurlitzer radios, and it's just not much out there. And
No,
so one of these days I'm going to turn it around. I've got it in my room here. I'm going to turn it around and pull the chassis out and look at it and see what I can do with it. But it needs new cloth and some work on the outside, but I think it'll be worth it when I get it done. So
I'll bet it will.
they seem to be very collectible.
Yeah,
I've
there's
got
probably
a
not that many.
I've got a radio I can't find any service information on either, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's that one right there.
Yeah.
But it's a Western Air, but no Western Air that I can find in a book. Fortunately,
Hmm.
it is a 4-tube TRF in a really striking case, so I'll probably go ahead and
Huh.
restore it. I'll bring it over. It's really a pretty radio, but I doubt I'll ever find any information in it. Peel the price tag off of it. It's prettier. No, they really didn't want that price tag to come off. There.
Yeah, you got to love it when people use stickers on them that just don't want to come off.
Yeah, and take the finish off while you're at it.
Yeah.
But this actually came from the Galen Fate estate. I had a fellow who really, really wanted to go and really, really wanted to get some radios, but he didn't have any money. So I gave him some money and turned him loose. And this is one of the things he brought back.
Hmm.
It's
Oh
nice.
yeah, that's a really nice radio.
But it's dead simple. It's got a pair of 57s, an 80, and a 2A5. That's it.
Huh.
Wow.
So anyway, that'll be a fun one to restore. I see that taking maybe 1 or 2 nights.
All
But
I found,
cabinets in decent condition.
all I found is Western Air Patrol.
Yes, and it's not one of those.
Not one of those. You think it could be made by another company?
I'm pretty sure it is. It's one of those radios that has a little badge under, just above the molding in the center, and just a little brass tag that says Western Air on it.
Hmm.
I've done quite a bit of research. Probably got about 3 or 4 hours of research in it, and um, it is a jobber radio. It's got a folded chassis that doesn't even have ends on it. It's a very inexpensive radio, and probably not a real good performer, being a one-stage TRF.
At
You
least
reckon
it's got a
you'll
nice cabinet.
It does have a pretty cabinet. Yep, it's got a pretty face. But it's got inlay in the front of it, and it's also got overlay uh,
Hmm.
on the walnut cabinet. So It's a pretty little radio.
So I got a question. What do you guys use for antenna? You know, inside where you're at when you're working on a radio and you want to hook an antenna up, do you just run a wire outside? Do you have an indoor antenna?
I have an indoor antenna that's about 40 feet long, is all up in the ceiling. And I have another wire that runs outside into a 9-to-1 balun and into a 133-foot long wire, which also is I use for my amateur radio station occasionally. Most of the time, 40 feet does just fine.
I got about 75 foot, ran out into a tree.
That's even better.
Yeah, that's better. I wish I could do that. I live in an apartment building, so kind of limited for what I can do.
You need a loop,
I know.
a tunable loop, and they're easy to
I,
make.
yeah, I need to build one. I think it'd be a cool, fun project to do.
I went down to the craft store and they had these really cool shaped, basically round or oval wooden cutouts.
Hmm.
They had them in three different sizes. So I bought all three of them and glued them together. So I've got this multi-stage thing that builds up and then drilled a hole, and that was what holds it. It's got a really pretty base, but it's really, I think I paid $2 a piece for the wood.
Yeah, that's cool.
Then built it up from there, put a capacitor at the base, and I can use it with a regular radio or one of my, 3 dialers.
Cool.
I got mine run out behind the shed where there's no electric wires and it's quiet, but you bring something in the house and all you get is static. It just about overrides everything unless it's real strong.
Yep.
Probably
Mine runs from the bench all the way to the front of to the front of the garage and then across because that's where the least amount of electrical is, but it's still noisy.
we got too many wall warts probably. Switch mode, wall
Yeah,
warts.
dimmers will get you too.
Yep.
Yeah. We only have one and it's turned off all the time, unless we're in the front room.
Mm.
We don't have that problem, but I've got UPSs, I've got things, all kinds of wall warts for battery charges for telephones, and I've got a little wall wart on the printer out here in the front room, and my little weather station has one. Even my Roku player has one. So there's
Yeah,
lots.
just lots of noise.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, those switching supplies aren't all that clean.
Nope. And you can unplug one, it don't seem to make much difference because there's probably too many other ones. And who knows what the neighbor's got next door.
Yeah, and then he's sharing the secondary side of the power transformer with you.
Yep.
Yep.
I know Tompkins came to me one time and said, I've got something that's tearing up my radio. I can't get any AM reception. He says, what do I use to find that with? And I said, well, my favorite thing is a transistor radio.
Yep.
What do you mean? And I said, well, they're pretty selective directionally. And I said,
Hmm.
just go hunting for it. He goes, well, I don't have a transistor radio. So I gave him one. It turned out to be some kind of electronic equipment that the internet carrier had put in, and they came out and looked at it and said, "We don't even use those anymore." He took the whole thing out and ran the wire someplace else, and he says, "My internet works better and my radios play again." He says it was a win-win.
Nice. And
Well,
all it took was just walking around with a
Walking
transistor
around with
radio.
a transistor
Yeah.
radio. He says, "Man, you knew when you were getting close."
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, my modem and router and everything is using a transformer, not a switch mode. So it's pretty quiet.
Yeah, mine is too. We've got two of them here in the house. One of them's a Motorola, and it is really clean. And then they brought in another one. I forget who makes it, but that has the double DSL coming in through it.
Yeah.
That's fast enough for us. My wife's in there watching Roku, and we're out here, and I don't need any more than that.
Good.
Do you recognize any of the parts, numbers, or anything inside that radio, Blake?
Oh, and well, it's got a pair of 57s, a 2A5, and an 80. The 2A5 is a little unique. They um, you know, generally had a 45 in them.
Yeah, but I
But
mean the brand of components,
yeah, I think it's
part
got an
numbers
Altec
on the
Lansing.
components.
Yeah, the speaker is recognizable.
The parts have a part number on them that you could recognize, or that other
Not
radio
really.
use.
There used to be something glued to the back of the chassis. It's long gone. It has a Lansing speaker in it.
Hmm.
Yeah, those are common, but
I haven't pulled it out yet, but from what I can see, I don't see anything in here that's
no part numbers or anything like that
uh,
that you could recognize as being from
there.
another model.
There, there is the numbers 481 punched into the back of the cabinet, but that's right where the sticker was that used to be on it.
Yeah, it's probably just a
One of the
cabinet number.
tubes, one of the tubes was checked on January 24th, 1947, and it was checked at Newman's Radio and Electric Company on Powell Boulevard. So it's a
Hmm.
local radio.
Oh, that's cool.
But the tubes are different models and stuff. I mean, they're made by different manufacturers.
Yeah, it's got a Sylvania and a Raytheon, and let's see what this one is. Yeah, yeah, it looks like it's got three Sylvanias and a Raytheon, and the Raytheon is the audio tube, which is what I would expect if they've replaced one tube. It would have been the audio or the rectifier.
Yeah.
Got four knobs on it. Dial is calibrated 0 to 100, so you know it's fairly early.
Mm-hmm.
Got an on-off switch, a volume knob, a tone knob, and tuning. The more knobs, the better.
Of course.
Yeah.
So while I got you guys here, is there any topics you would like to see either on these Wednesday Zoom meetings or as a tech talk or something um, in the coming year in our regular meetings?
I know Mike and I have talked about next steps on the All-American 5 stuff we've been doing, and
Mm-hmm.
I let him do the pack. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know where he learned how to make those packs, don't you? Right here.
Right on your bench.
This workbench.
Yep. Nice.
But he wanted to do that, and I just said, "Hey, run with it. You know,
Yeah.
I'll take a break." He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
We'd talked about, a couple ideas, and we'll come up with something. And I kind of like it when the member brings a radio in, an All American 5 in, and we troubleshoot it as a group. I think there's value in that because you
Yeah.
get a lot of different ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. Gets people to participate.
It does. The radio club that's out in Dallas that I am still affiliated with um, has a repair session that they do, and they've got a couple of guys that come in with their parts. We had a guy that did tubes and caps and light bulbs, and another guy that did literature, and what they would ask is they had about 10 or 12 really good technicians, and they would pair them up um, for a 90-minute session, I believe it was, and they would do three 90-minute sessions. So you got 12 people doing three radios a piece. That's 3 dozen radios that they would bring in, and they just put the tables in a horseshoe
Mm-hmm.
and chairs in the center, and people would bring their radios. They would sign up for a slot, and by knowing that, then whoever they were paired up with could bring the right schematics and make sure we had the tubes on hand and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't limited to All American 5. It was whatever you wanted. And you would come in, you get 90 minutes one-on-one with a technician. And
Yeah, that's
a
really
lot of
cool. I
learning went
like
on
that
there.
idea.
And it worked good, but it was a one-on-one thing. One
Yeah.
person learned some things
That'd
and
be
another
fun.
person learned some different things.
Yeah.
But you did get hands-on. And I remember coming in all the time. I had my generator, my tip tester, my meter, and a flashlight and a soldering iron, and didn't have a whole lot to work with then, but we got a lot of radios. Out of 36, 20 of them probably went home working, or
Wow.
with instructions on what to change to make it work, and then you know.
Yeah.
But I would invite people to come out to my shop if we didn't get it done. They'd bring it
Hmm.
over, we'd spend an evening getting it going. But that was a lot of fun, and we tried to do that one time, and it just got too convoluted. Um, it got way out of control. We were going to have club was going to buy capacitors, and that we were going to provide tubes at cost. I mean, all these rules that went into place, and I just
Yeah, it just got way too complicated.
yeah. And then Pat, bless his heart, like he's like a brother, but Pat says, "Well, we're going to do this on a Saturday."
Uh-huh.
Like, no. If I'm going to be a tech and be repairing radios, we're not going to do it on a Saturday. I know I got other plans,
Hmm.
but you know, we did that, and it does work. It's a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
so I tutor at my bench these days.
Yeah.
I've
Hmm.
only got one person that I'm working with now. Um, One has gone back to school to get an engineering degree, and the other one aged out. He said, "I got my radio collection. I've learned all I want to learn. Thank you so much for the 2 years."
Yeah. Nice.
But um, so that's what spun off of that for me. I just, you know, Scott's the only one I've got right now. He comes over on Thursday nights and we play radios.
Nice. So have you heard from Andy in a while?
I heard from Andy Saturday while we were at the meeting.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah. He and I had a father-son talk. He's 29 and I'm three times that or something. Anyway,
Yeah.
uh, twice that anyway. And I made sure he understood that, he's going back to college to get an engineering degree. That needs to be his focus. And
Yeah.
I don't want him over here because Sunday nights he comes over to play radio. I want him to come over when he needs something or when he's got Christmas vacation and a day to come over and play. But
Yeah.
focus on his school. See,
Hmm.
he's not been here probably since September.
Okay, yeah,
He's
that's
come by and picked up a couple of parts, and I've got a console radio and an O-scope over there that he needs to come get. But
hmm.
um, yeah, I heard
Yeah, I
from
was
him.
curious because he hadn't
He's
come
doing
to many
good.
of the meetings recently and stuff, so I figured you'd probably had heard from him.
Yep. Well, his dad's retired BPA. I didn't know him, but
Oh yeah.
there's a common thread there. I'm
Mm.
doing everything I can to get him um, in the door at BPA as um, what do they call him? Bring him as an intern.
Yeah. Hmm.
So,
Yeah, that'd be good.
and he gets 2 years under his belt. I'll have no problem getting him in here as an intern. He probably won't work in our group. And by the
Yeah.
time I get him in here, I'm probably going to be hanging it up
Yeah. Yeah,
Jim,
that'd be a good
next
opportunity.
Christmas.
Yeah.
hey Jim,
Yeah.
what does your Wurlitzer look like? I've got a bunch of them listed in this radio catalog.
Whoop. I don't know if I can do it. That's
Oh my goodness, that's vintage.
All right, that's a high
if you can see that.
table.
It's a high boy. So that's what it looks like from further out. But it's good sized. I mean, it's what it's at least a little over 2 foot wide.
Okay.
Top part is. It's got a nice W in the
I got low boys listed here.
Yeah, I found a lot of low boys, but I haven't found any of the high boys.
Front quarter
I
round.
did find one that had it was looked like maybe a battery. It was that style, the old style of tabletops. It looked like it had the same chassis in it.
This
But I'll
is
have to open it up, pull the chassis out, and
half round dial, lower cloth grill with cutouts, 6 legs.
no, this one just has 4 legs,
4 legs.
square or rectangle, 4 legs with a, it goes from front to back, and then there's one in the middle that goes from left to right.
Okay.
See what I got in my
It's-
Yeah, most of these have got 6 legs, it shows.
yours that we don't have a model number, do we?
yeah, the top part is 2 foot by 2 foot.
But you don't know what the model number is?
I did not see it anywhere.
Okay. I was just curious because I'm looking through WTUW PUVW after
Let me
Victorine.
see.
Upper front window dial.
I think
Yours
I-
got lower window dial, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's got 3 dials under the window. Actually, it's got two knobs and a switch. There's a switch in the middle.
Right, okay. 2 knobs, BC. I don't see no wraparound louvers.
No.
No, that's table.
Well, I've got a notation here in my official radio service manuals. Rudolph Wurlitzer Manufacturing Company also had ties with All American Mohawk.
I got Wurlitzer Lyric. It says Rudolph Wurlitzer Manufacturing Company, North Tonawanda, New York.
And I don't know if I've got anything. One of the interesting books I've come across in the years is this Riders Volume 1. And if you can see it, you'll recognize it. This is not the radio one. This is the public address related equipment. And I'm gonna look under Wurlitzer to see what's in here. This is really old, and it's really big.
Yeah, Antique Radios, 5th and 6th edition. That's the 5th edition. We got a 6th.
Okay, Rudolph Wurlitzer. We got quite a few pages of stuff in here. These all appear here to be mainly public address systems. Rudolph Wurlitzer. Model 41 had a phonograph. Phonograph. Yeah, this has got some radio stuff in it, mostly PA stuff.
Lost you there for a minute. How do I go from front to back?
I've got model 312412 under 2 serial numbers and 2 schematics. So I do have some radio stuff in here. That's all PA.
I'm not done this on my phone. I lost my other one. Trying to switch my video to the front. Won't do it.
Yeah, this is primarily PA equipment, but there are a couple of radios in here under the Randolph Wurlitzer company.
So that's
This thing
that's kind
also
of what
says, this thing also says, see All American Mohawk Corp.
right. The tag that's in here says Wurlitzer AC tube electronic radio, and down it says Rudolph Wurlitzer Company, licensed under AT&T, gender, I don't know, but manufactured by AAM, which would be your All American Mohawk.
Hmm.
Has a serial number but no model. And when they listed it on the auction I got it from, they had it listed as the speaker. It had a dynamic 80 HOVAC speaker, but it's got these great big boxes in here. Yeah. Then it comes down, then you come down here, and it's got what, 3, 6, 7, 8 tubes lined up across the back of it, with 2 more boxes.
Oh, with
And
the
it
green
is-
chassis. That's cool.
So it's got a push button, must be on off button. And that's got to be the rectifier. I don't know what tube that is. Oh no.
It's like an 80.
Yeah, it's got to be an 80 probably.
4-prong?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bet it is.
It looks like most of the early ones were in the Riders 1, Volume 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
I'll have to look because I have those.
Well, I was looking in the Gernsback official radio service manuals. I've got all 8 of those, and it's got some listings for them as well. Most of them appear to be in volumes 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, the worst part
Like I
about
said, I found one that was a
they don't give
tabletop.
you a picture of the radio, just the schematics usually.
Yeah. Along tear into it and see what's underneath the chassis and clean it up. It's really dusty, but these, yeah, they're kind of attached, but not real well.
Hmm.
It's got a selenium rectifier right next to the speaker on the right hand side.
Yeah,
Is it
I don't know
selenium or
what
is it just metallic? That's kind of early for selenium.
those are good size. Those are 6 inches tall, and
I'll bet they're just metallic. I don't know if they're selenium, but they're certainly
it's got a lot of
solid
wires going in there.
Hmm.
Looks like plates. And that brown thing there. What's that brown thing? Yeah, got plates.
state. Another metallic rectifier. It probably works with the fuel coil in conjunction with the fuel coil on the speaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be. That's interesting. That's different.
I think a mouse went through and ate all the stuff off of the edge of the cone on the speaker.
Oh, that chamois material?
Yeah. And it's just perfect almost all the way around.
I probably just ate the chamois, and you might be able to repair that with modern foam rings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
I'll-
think you live anywhere near me, or you could come and I'd give you all my foam rings, and you could go try.
yeah, I'm gonna have to clock and see how far away you are, and maybe make a once a month up to just to have you show me some things. So we'll see.
Bring a truck. I have a bad habit of sending things home with you.
Yeah, don't
You're
do
in
that.
Vancouver, Blake? Are
Pardon?
you are you in Vancouver?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely needs a cleaning. It's weird. It's got a little glass fuse in here. Huh. Anyway,
There's got to be
it'll
something
be
recognizable in there.
thinking if I dig long enough, something will come up.
Yeah, I'm wondering if one of these that I've got here in these again in these Gernsback books is one of them. Um, I've got listings for quite a few Wurlitzers, but not a ton. There's probably 20 or 25 of them here. And again, they're between volumes 2 and 7, I guess.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But yeah, there's enough of them that it would not take. There's few enough of them that if I knew the tube lineup, I could, and a little more about the radio, I might be able to just open the schematics up and do a quick compare.
Yeah. All right. I'll look and see if I can find that other one because I found one that the radio had all the same stuff. It looked like it, only it was all on one level instead of two levels. We'll see. I'll have to look in my writer's book, but it's just odd that it's hard to find anything on it. I can find tons of stuff about the jukeboxes, but you go back to the radios, and there's just not a lot out there.
Like Everready, they made a few radios, and I was able to identify it in a schematic because it had a 2S tube in it.
Which is not a common.
Not a common tube, no.
Yeah.
Bilco, Sonora. Yeah, I don't think there's any in this. I think your radio is prior to this
Yeah.
book.
I didn't see any. There's no other.
Do we know
There's
what
no.
tubes are in it without going in and having to pull all of them out? I don't want to do that.
I don't know. That's a what, a 71A?
That's your detector.
No, that's an audio tube.
It's
Audio.
a 4-prong tube too. 7. I can't tell.
Probably got a pair. Biggest speaker that is probably got a pair of 71As in it. And if it's
Oh, a
electric,
170. It's a 171A. It's
okay.
printed on the. It's printed
One
underneath it on the.
yeah, 171 is just an RCA branded, I think 71A.
Got different. Every one
But
of
I'm
these is
I'm
different. It's got
guessing,
Cunningham. It's
yeah,
got a
Cunningham
Tunstall
would be
National.
2.
So that's two. That's two that are the 71As.
Yep. And then you're going to have a whole
171.
lineup
That's a
of either
220.
26s or 27s.
That's a 227.
Yep. And that's what the rest of them are going to be too, I'm betting.
What about 26s?
They generally don't.
227. This
Usually
one's a
they're
little
either
bigger.
26s or 27s. Usually don't mix them. But
Yep,
not always.
226. The rest of
Okay.
them look like they're probably 226. Yep.
Okay.
Hmm.
So they're using the 27 as a driver for the two 171s, and the rest of them are all 26s.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
They are. And then this one up here was the 280.
Yep.
Yep.
The first number identifies the manufacturer in those days. So a 171, 271, 371, 471, an NU 71, a 571 is the same as a 71. And then
Gotcha.
A means it draws a quarter of an amp on the filament versus 1 amp, I believe. I know on the 201 versus 201A, it's 1 amp versus quarter amp. But the 201s look really pretty. They light up like a light bulb. So how many 26s are there?
What's that?
How many 26s were there?
4. There's 4, 2, and 2.
Okay, 4, 2, and 2. 4 26s, 2 27s, and 2 171s.
1,
And
2,
an
going left to right, the first 4 are the 26s, and then the 2, and then the 171s.
Yep. Okay. I'll look through my stuff and see if I find anything that fits that.
Like I said, that's the only sticker is the one right there, that Wurlitzer sticker, other than the one on the speaker.
And you say the label there doesn't have anything for us to work with, huh?
Not really.
AC tube electric radio.
Yeah.
A serial number and an
It's
AC
got a serial
rating.
number. H12740.
Huh. Well,
No other papers that I can find.
you get what you get.
Interesting because it's got like on the where the rectifier tube is here, it's got a switch right here too.
It's probably for a different voltage selection.
I think it is. That reminds me a lot of the RCA radios. They had that switch in there too on like the 17, the 18, and I think had it in the 60.
So if you were going from 220 to 110 or 110 to
No.
115 to 120.
I think probably 100 to 105 and maybe 110 to 115 or 17, something like that. It should be labeled.
Yeah, under all the dirt probably is. Oh yeah, it is. 115 to 125.
There you go.
I don't know the other one. I can't get all the dirt off of. But you're right. That's what it is.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, but it's heavy. That thing weighs a ton.
Yep. 2 meter and a small boy.
You're probably going to have to recap it there, Jim, inside that power supply. That's fun. I've done it.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a project.
When you get everything dug out, you'll find that you only need about 3 or 4 little bitty capacitors, and the rest of the box will be empty.
Yep. And if you need any film type, because those are not electrolytic, but if you need any film type, I've got some 1s and some 2s and maybe some 4s that are film type capacitors, and they work real well.
All right.
I did that to one of mine that I had. I had to rebuild it, and all the wiring had the rubber coating on that turned to hard and fell off, so I had to rewire the whole thing. But the biggest thing was that capacitor. It had 4 or 5 capacitors in it, and there was some that were in parallel common ground. Then there was some that were a couple that were above ground. So you had to make sure you hit the right connections on top of the outside of it when you rewired it back, or you had a mess. Even the capacitor for the speaker was, let's see, no, I'm talking about a different kind. The one I had was a high impedance speaker. Yours has probably got a transformer.
Yeah, I'm guessing it does because it's got a pretty good sized field coil in it.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's going to be fun, Jim. Don't give up on it.
Yeah.
Wait until
Yeah.
you hear it play. You will be amazed.
Yeah, that's what
It'll
everybody
be worth it
says.
in the end.
Yeah.
Keep digging somewhere. There's going to be something that tells you how to work on it. There'll be a diagram somewhere.
So that was, I asked about knobs last time and whether how hard it is to match or whether I should stay
Mhm.
true to the thing. What do you do on a cabinet that's kind of scuffed up but not radically scuffed up? You know, you watch the old whatchamacallit on Channel 10 and they talk, oh, you took all the patina off. Now it's not worth half as much as it would have been if you'd have left it the way it was.
Yeah, that's a tough call. It's, when is it bad enough that it's too bad? And there's a lot of one thing that I have seen done, and I'm not going to tell you who does it because the person wouldn't be happy with me, but they will clean the cabinet up with paint thinner, nothing stronger. They'll scrub it with 4/0 steel wool, let it dry, and then they will lightly sand it with about a 600 grit sandpaper. Not a lot, just enough to get it smooth again.
Right.
And then they will rub it down with walnut stain and put a single top coat on it. Seals and protects it, but leaves a lot of that patina in there. But don't
Yeah.
use anything other than microcellulose lacquer. Don't put any of that polyurethane stuff on it. You can spot that a mile away.
Yeah. Huh.
And I've done a few of them that way. I've done some where this little one behind me, I will sand it lightly, wipe it with walnut, and then I will put one single top coat over the top of it. I may not even put the top coat on. I may choose to uh, to just let everything dry and then go back in with carnauba wax and rub it out.
Hmm.
And wax. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of waxing, but all right. All
Clean
right.
it first, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
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 it's,
sure.
it's
4/0
pretty,
steel wool and some paint thinner, and then dry it with a cloth and let it sit for a week.
yeah. Yep.
Back and have fun with it.
Yeah.
There is
I
there's a product called Howard's Restore Finish that's
yep.
good on
I'm
these too.
familiar with that. Yeah.
Mhm.
But again, clean it and make sure you get
Yeah.
the right flavor of Howard's.
Yeah, I've done a lot of newer cabinetry, but not restoring old cabinetry. That's a little newer for me, but other than sanding something down and painting it. Yep. All right. Well, thank you. Let's see what we can do. Well, I got to get going, guys.
Okay.
It's 8:30.
It is.
Thanks for.
I was
I'll see
hoping
you
while you
later.
were on here tonight, this radio would repair itself, but it doesn't seem to have taken any action at all.
No, totally
But
lethargic.
Gremlins don't come out till after 9 o'clock.
No, and I've got one of these. I got one of these darn. It's a Wonder Bar.
Oh, uh-huh.
Oh,
So anyway, two
oh,
chassis, but I'm close. Radio plays, it just doesn't have enough signal strength. And radio's kind of numb, and therefore the Wonder Bar won't trip when it hits the station.
Hmm.
It's close. It's that one resistor I didn't see. I'm sure of it.
yeah.
Anyway, good night, Jim.
Good night.
I did. All right, guys. I think I'm going to hang it up too.
Yep, sounds good. Yeah, I'm getting
I've been
sleepy.
playing Boss Man at work.
All
My
right.
boss gets back
Yeah.
tomorrow from Africa, and I want to be nice and rested up for her.
All right. Good night, guys.
All right.
Good night.
See you later.